Hey, what's up everyone? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of day you're deciding to watch this video. So I just wanted to create like a little tutorial video to show you an easy way to do that energy cost assignment by just plugging things into a spreadsheet. You certainly don't have to do it this way. You can do it by hand. But spreadsheets are, I think, a really, really great way to be able to utilize functions. And in a lot of my other classes, we use spreadsheets to make graphs and stuff, but we can also use them to do math for us. And it's a really, really, really awesome tool. So I just want to show you how I would do this. So just note that the values that I'm using are in the table that I have set up are different from the values that you have in your assignment. So you can't just copy and paste it, but you can follow along if you want. Please reach out to me if you have any questions on how to explore this problem or these two problems. And then of course, don't forget to answer the short answer questions below. So with that said, let's get into it. The first thing that you're going to want to do is to set up a spreadsheet. So what you can do is quite literally go from your document and copy and paste the table that I have provided for you. What I've also done is I also copy and pasted like the problem itself, at least for the first one. Because it gives us, some specific things that we need to input into our table. And of course, you can even have it split screen, so you can like have the directions up on one side and some of the background information, which might be useful, might be helpful, especially for, kind of trying to figure out this idea. Okay, so how do I calculate these watts and watt hours and all this kind of stuff? How am I going to be doing that? Which all of that is indicated in the directions. So walking through this first part, so for number one, you're going to calculate the amount of energy used each day in one room of your home with particular specs, for lack of a better word. So my room contains 4 50-watt light bulbs. So the thing to do here, instead of just having 50, we are using 4 light bulbs like that. So I have my cell indicated here. You can tell by the blue highlight. And to tell it to do math, the first thing you're going to type is the equal sign. And I'm actually going to zoom in here a little bit so you can see a little bit better. So notice we're also, you can follow along in the function area. But okay, so light bulbs, say I don't know, I do my math wrong or whatever. So, okay, so I want 4, the number 4 times. So to do times, you're just gonna do the asterisk key, 4 times 50, and that will give me 200 watts. And then for the television, that's 180 watts, and the space heater is 1,200 watts. And it also indicates the hours for each thing that we're using, right? So I'll just be like, okay, so for lights, that's 5 hours, the TV is 3 hours, and the space heater for 2 hours. So to calculate the daily energy used in watt hours, I just do, again, we're gonna tell it to do some math. So equal sign, you just click the cell that you initially want to do, and then again, times, and so we're doing watts times hours to give us watt hours, and then just hit return, and then that's that. To get it to autofill, all you have to do is when you select this cell, notice in the bottom right hand side how there's that little blue dot. Well, notice how when I hover my cursor over that little blue dot, it turns into a little plus sign, and you can just click and drag it down to have it autofill and do the same function. So notice how when I click on this cell for the TV daily energy used, and you go up into the function key, it tells you that it's doing, okay, B7 times C7. That's exactly what we want, right? And then for daily energy used, remember in the directions, it says for daily energy used, you want to divide by, made the directions a little bit clearer in a current semester, but you divide the watt hours by 1,000. So just going back to my spreadsheet here, again, equal sign, select the cell that we want to do this function to, and then to divide, it's just the forward slash is just division, and then you just type in 1,000. It's also really important here that you don't include a comma. It kind of freaks out if you include a comma. It's like, I don't know what that is, which is silly. But again, to autofill, bottom right hand corner, just click and drag it down and it autofills that in. Excuse me. And then to do the daily operation cost, notice in the table that I gave you, it's 0.25 per kilowatt hour. What you could do here is simply just go and delete that per kilowatt hour so that it doesn't mess it up, which actually I would probably suggest doing just so it's easier for you. So then to do the daily operation cost, kilowatt hour times dollar per kilowatt hour, kilowatt hours cancel out, and that leaves us with dollar amount. So equal sign, daily energy used times energy cost, return, and autofill. A difference here is there's not a total daily energy used, right? We're not adding those up necessarily, though I suppose you could, but a way that you can adjust this is instead of having it do that times, you can do equal sign, SUM to tell you wanted to add it something, open parentheses, and then select the cells that you want to add together, close parentheses, enter. So kind of a neat little thing, right? And then for the monthly operation cost, I told you to please just assume 30 days. So 30 times our daily operation cost, return, autofill is great in this case. And then same thing for yearly operation cost, except for we're assuming 365 days, right? So equal sign 365 times our daily operation cost and enter, and then there you go. And then from here, you can simply copy what you have in this spreadsheet and paste it into your table, and bada bing, bada boom. You don't have to do much other crazy things there. So that's for number one. For number two, it's a very similar setup, except for we're looking at specific bulbs and the number of bulbs needed and total purchase price, etc. So in your assignment, I've grayed out the columns that I want you to fill in to hopefully make it a little bit easier. So some things we're going to do here, again, it's very similar to how we approached this first one, but a few things are a little bit different. So we're looking at bulb life in hours, and I ask how many bulbs would be needed for everyone achieving this 25,000 hours. So to do that with this one, so again, I'm just going into this particular cell, and in this case, we want to see how many bulbs do we need to fulfill 25,000 hours. So to do that, we're just going to type in 25,000, equal sign first, telling it to do a function. 25,000 divided by that forward slash, and click on the cell that you want to indicate, and return and autofill. What I say in the directions is you need to round up. So probably when you do this, it will come up something like this. So to have it round up for you in this little region here where this says decrease decimal places, just simply boop, 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 and it will decrease decimal spaces for you. It's also aesthetically pleasing to do that. And then total purchase price, just do equal sign. It's already assuming what I want to do, but just for ease, okay, so the amount of bulbs I need times the price in which it was indicated for this semester from Home Depot, and autofill, right? And then once again, energy used, like just before, watt hours. So we're just going to multiply watts and hours to give us watt hours. So select that cell, equal sign, watts multiplied by hours, return, autofill. And then again, to do our kilowatt hours, it's just divided by 1,000. So you do equal sign, energy used watt hours divided by 1,000. And that's all good and gravy. And then same thing as before, to get our total operation cost here, to get our kilowatt hours to cancel out, we just multiply these together to get our total operations. So equal sign, kilowatt hours or energy used times our energy cost, return, and yes. And then to get our total cost, notice with that, we are going to include the total purchase price. So in this case, instead of multiplying or dividing, you're just going to do equal sign, total operation plus total purchase price, return, and voila. There we are. And there you have it. So the beauty of this now being a video is you can pause, rewind, go back, tell it to go slower, any of those things that you may need it to do. But that's how I would approach that problem. Again, just a nice and simple, easy way to slap those things into a spreadsheet, just copy and paste it back into the table on the assignment, and then answer the questions and you're done. But of course, again, please approach this assignment however you wish, but just wanted to share that idea with you. Thank you so very much for watching, and please let me know if you have any questions.